Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Daily Motion, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog for Monday, January 19th, 2015, around 5:58 in the evening in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's about 40 degrees outside. It was a nice day, and the ice patch just melted away, but it might refreeze tonight. Some news to report. It's National Popcorn Day in the United States, and Los Angeles Clippers beat the Boston Celtics by a score of 102-93, and it's official. The 2016 NHL Winter Classic will be coming to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. The Boston Bruins will be playing their rivals, the Montreal Canadiens, January 1st, 2016. That's about it on that. My next subject is the 2014-2015 mid-season NHL report. The NHL seasons up to this point has been very good. A lot of surprises, a lot of disappointments. Some of the surprises so far in the league in 2014-2015 is the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders were pegged to finish in the bottom of the Metropolitan Division this year, but they're on top of the Metropolitan Division. They're having good play with the goaltender Charlie Haskoff, and also John Tavares is becoming one of the best players in the National Hockey League. They're battling for the Pittsburgh Penguins for the top spot in the Metropolitan Division. Another surprise team in the NHL this year is the Nashville Predators. The Predators have the best record in the NHL, and they have the top goaltender, Pekka Rinne, even though he's going to miss 3 to 5 weeks with a knee injury. Hopefully he's back because he's on pace to win the Vezina Trophy this year. And they have the best defenseman, Shea Weber, and Pierre Laviolette is a top candidate for Coach of the Year. Some disappointment so far this year are the Minnesota Wild, who are languishing in last place in the Central Division. They made it to the second round last year of the playoffs, and they were like kind of a bounce or two away from maybe taking that series from the Chicago Blackhawks, but they've been so disappointing. Their goaltending's question marks, plus their coach Mike Yeo is probably going to be fired if they don't turn it around this year. Also, the Boston Bruins have been up and down the standing, up and down for this year, but looks like they're turning the corner and stuff. Hopefully they could make the playoffs, because if they don't, then heads probably will roll in Boston. In the Atlantic Division, Tampa Bay Lightning are leading the division, and Montreal still strong as usual. Detroit has solidified itself as a playoff contender, and the Bruins are right there. Plus Florida's only 5 points out of a wild card spot. They've been having a surprise season this year, even though fans aren't showing up to the games. Toronto has been up and down, up and down. They fired their coach Randy Carlyle, but they are still in a kind of state of flux, and the Senators are just barely hanging on to a playoff spot, and Buffalo Sabres is probably waiting for next year. In the Metropolitan Division, New York Islanders are battling the Pittsburgh Pirates for the top spot. Penguins having a solid season. Crosby and Malkin are having a good one. And the Rangers are having kind of an up and down season, but they have a playoff spot in hand. Washington has a wild card spot, which is pretty good because they have Ovechkin, and they have a new coach, Barry Trotz, who's probably a Coach of the Year candidate, in my opinion. And the rest of the division, the Flyers are disappointing. The goaltender, Steve Mason's going to be out for a while. Columbus has had a slow start, but they're picking it up momentum recently, but they're still several points out of a wild card spot. The New Jersey Devils are in a kind of a rebuilding phase. They now have co-coaches for the rest of the year. And the Carolina Hurricanes are light years away from contending. The Western Conference, the Central Division, the Predators have had a surprise year. The St. Louis Blues is doing good. Blackhawks are still have a solidified playoff spot. They have some of the best players in the league. The Winnipeg Jets are one of the most surprise stories in the NHL, and I think they could get a wild card spot in the playoffs. That will be a big boon to the city of Winnipeg for them finally getting a playoff spot. This is not the Atlanta Thrashers; it's the Winnipeg Jets, and like the Detroit and the Dallas Stars are kind of battling for a wild card spot. They have one of the leading scorers, Tyler Seguin. Colorado Avalanche is getting back into the playoff mix, and Minnesota Wild's probably almost done. In the Pacific Division, it's Anaheim Ducks, who are doing pretty good. They have one of the best records in the league. San Jose Sharks have been very surprising. They have like second place in the Pacific Division. Many people would say they were on the verge of going to blow up the team and rebuilding, but they're having a solid season. Vancouver Canucks still had a bounce back season. Ryan Miller's been playing so-so. He's not the Ryan Miller vote. He's playing decent. The Calgary Flames it's one of the surprise teams in the NHL this year, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. The Kings are holding right behind them, but they're just getting going. The second half of the year, I think the Kings are going to go move up the standings. Arizona is basically done for the season, and the Edmonton Oilers, it seems like centuries ago that they won a Stanley Cup. It's only been 25 years, but that seems like centuries ago, and the Oilers could be several years away from even contending. They're gonna have to blow that team up again. Those number one draft picks have not been gelling as a cohesive unit and stuff. And for my picks, if the season ended today, I would pick Pekka Rinne as Vezina Trophy winner, Shea Weber as the Norris Trophy's best defenseman. Coach of the year is probably going to be Peter Laviolette of the Predators, and MVP. This is going to be a surprise. I think John Tavares of the New York Islanders is going to win MVP if the season ended today. And I'm still sticking with the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Anaheim Ducks for my Stanley Cup Finals, but it could easily be the Los Angeles Canes or the Chicago Blackhawks representing the West in the finals, because it seems like every year it's the Blackhawks and the Canes always getting it going during playoff time, so I wouldn't be totally shocked or surprised if the Canes or Blackhawks are in the finals. And in the Eastern Conference, it's just, I think this is going to be the year of the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I wouldn't be surprised if I see the Pittsburgh Penguins or maybe a dark horse candidate like the Islanders in the Cup Finals. And it should be interesting to see the second half of the NHL season. And Sunday, the NHL All-Star Game is going to be on NBCSN from Columbus, Ohio at 5:05. And the NHL All-Star Game's more exciting than the Pro Bowl, because they have fantasy teams in the NHL All-Star Game. They don't play defense, but there's a lot of offense. But all the star players who are selected to the All-Star Game go and play, not like the Pro Bowl where a lot of them just bail out. And that's about it on that. My third and final video blog subject of the night will be about the personality profile. It would be about one of the best NBA centers of all time and current TNT analyst for the Inside the NBA, Shaquille O'Neal, also known as Shaq. See you later, Facebook, YouTube, Daily Motion, and Twitter. Bye for now.